In this video, I'm going to share 3 tips that actually changed the way I shoot minimalist long exposure photography. And none of them are about gear or equipment or settings, but all of them change the way I see. Welcome back on my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm a minimalist long exposure photographer, and I'm always on the hunt for new locations with intriguing or interesting subjects to shoot. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this video because the weather conditions have been very challenging these past couple of days. As you can maybe hear or see, the wind is blowing. It's blowing hard. Looking for the right angle is crucial because the height can make a huge difference on the impact of the image. So trying to walk around the subject, find the right combination, see what needs to be kept and what needs to be removed. This is the crucial part of composition and the crucial part of minimalism. You can be sitting in front of a beautiful subject, you think it's quite straightforward, but it's not. The composition defines exactly the power of your image. Let's move on. Most people think minimalist long exposure photography is about smooth water, ND filters, technical skills, but it's not. The real skill is learning what to remove. So here are 3 things nearly nobody talks about in terms of minimalist long exposure photography, which I'm going to explain in this video. The first thing I'm going to concentrate on is photograph the absence and not the subject. And I will explain what I mean by this. This is the strongest philosophical angle. Most people hunt for subject, but minimalist photographers hunt for emptiness, separation, silence, clean visual breaking room. Negative space is not empty background. It's an active compositional element. The long exposure isn't creating the image. It's deleting the image until only the essence remains. This is a real luxury to be able to process the images I photographed this morning or yesterday, which is close to the real time, being able to just making sure everything was fine and in focus, etc. Going back to the camper van while the weather allowed me to do so, because I want to use the best time of the day to photograph. But then when the weather is not that good or the tide is too far out, I can't go out shooting, then it's a convenient moment for me to just process my pictures, have a look, double check the light, the colors, everything, and then making sure I've got what I needed, and then return to the spot if needed. And the beauty is with a camper van, you can stay on location for a couple of days in a row if you want to, and then if you want to move on, that's easy, just get in the driver's seat and then move on to the next location. So I really like the kind of flexibility that it offered me. Whereas if you stay in a hotel and you're like an hour drive from your location, you will have to return back and forth and wasting a lot of time being behind the wheel instead of being efficient, processing the pictures, checking on site, and then returning straight away. So I really enjoy that. It is time to try something a little tricky. I've shot this subject now, so I thought it was quite interesting to shoot. Which are like pipes diving into the sea, but I want to shoot some of these little fishing huts from the pipes because it's a little slippery. Here we go. I want this fish net. Might go even further. Can't go any further. That's quite nice. This is one of the trickiest spots I've ever been onto. As you can see, there's literally no one at this time of day. Not after the day of rain we had. There's a lot of potential right here. So to make my picture more minimalist, my target is to try to remove as many elements unnecessary in my pictures, like harsh shadows, like people moving around, like details in the water, things like that. High tide will help me as well, cleaning the subject more than low tide, where I've got more elements around my subject. So picking up the right moment during the day, the right moment with the sky as well. At the moment this is too bright, so I would not shoot now because I want to wait the clouds to soften the image. That's the idea, is trying to use every single element I've got in my possession to make my picture more minimalist. Utilizing all these elements act as erasers. They help me remove things that I don't need in my pictures. So minimalism is a discipline of subtraction at the end of the day. Long exposure isn't creating the picture, it is deleting the unnecessary elements in my pictures. What shall I keep and what shall I remove? But the first question is, what shall I remove to make my picture more minimalist? I've got a great example behind me there to make it powerful and striking, using the leading lines to catch the eye and lead my eye through the picture. My tip number 2 would be look for edge and not objects. Most of the time when you begin minimalist photography, you're focusing on the object itself more than the lines, and by focusing on the object you miss the point of looking for the leading lines, which might lead you to find a stronger subject to shoot and not specifically the object itself. Minimalist composition becomes powerful when geometry survives after detail disappears. So the question you should ask yourself after 30 seconds, 45 seconds or a minute long exposure is, what shape survives? And this will help you figuring out your composition and choosing your elements as well. Because The surviving elements will then be the shape, the line, the contrast, the spacing, but not the details itself. There's a great visual exercise I can recommend you to try out once you're outdoor is squint at the scene and see what's left to be seen. If the image works blurry, then it will probably work as analog exposure. It's a practical way to help you visualize the strong lines in your composition and see the power or the potential of it. Tip number 3, use time to remove meaning. Long exposure removes specificity. For example, waves become emptiness, crowds become ghost, clouds become brush strokes. Minimal does not mean empty. Some of the most common mistakes that I've seen in minimalist photography is no anchor subject, for example, or random negative space, which is the worst. Another one is weak geometry, or messy edges, or no emotional tension. So a minimalist composition still needs hierarchy, balance, intentional spacing. So my conclusion would be that minimalism is not about having less in the frame. It's about making every remaining element matter more. Now is the perfect time to shoot my subject. I've been waiting for those clouds to cover the sun to get the right lighting. I'm so happy now. 20 minutes of waiting, but worth the wait because the light is perfect. In fact, the best minimalist long exposure photographers don't find simple scenes. They simplify the most complicated ones. Whether you shoot seascapes, architecture, or urban environments, the 3 shift will change what you come home with. Why your subject is almost never what you think it is, and how to find the real tension in a frame. How to train you up to subtract and not to add. This is the one question that will change the way you look at every scene you shoot. Why exposing for feeling beats exposing for correctness, and how to pre-visualize the emotional weight of a scene before you touch the camera. If you're new here, this channel is about minimalist long exposure photography. The technique, the vision, and the mindset behind images that say more with less. Subscribe if you think that that's the kind of photography you're after. So if you are interested to learn more about minimalist long exposure photography and would like to join one of my workshops that I'm running around the globe, have a look on my website. There's a workshop page where you can find all the upcoming workshops. And if you have any question, obviously feel free to contact me. I'll be very happy to respond to any of your questions. You can have a look at my Instagram account as well, where I can respond to your direct messages or just send me an email. Thank you for watching the video till the end, my friends, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again on the next one.